Are you looking for 5-star recommendations? Are you looking for books that will keep you hooked? Are you looking for Zara Hatke reads that will offer you a mix of genres? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then my friends, you've come to the right video. Hey guys, I'm Sankalpita and you're watching Book Geeks India, which is a channel where I make book related videos. Like I promised you in the last video, here I am back again with another video for you guys. Now this one is a video specially meant for voracious or intermediate readers. So if you are a beginner level reader, this video is not going to be for you, because in this video I bring to you 5-star recommendations across genres, but these are going to be challenging reads, difficult reads, so totally not meant for beginners. Now before I begin this video, let me give a huge shout out, a huge thank you to author Piyush Rohankar, who has come out with his debut book, A Pleasant Escape. A Pleasant Escape narrates an entertaining story of this young UPSC civil service aspirant Alok Shirke. When Alok Shirke decides to actually appear for the UPSC civil service examinations, he has no idea of the hardships and the challenges that he will face on the journey ahead. But dreaming the big dreams he had always wanted to, he comes to this old area of Old Rajendra Nagar in New Delhi to prepare for the examinations. Now this particular area in Delhi is actually known as the hub of UPSC civil servant aspirants. But when Alok was harboring rosy ideas about a secure and respected future, he had no idea that the preparation would actually be more than full day long classes and heavy books. No, that's not all to UPSC civil services preparation. That's nothing in fact. Now, in his journey for the preparation of this exam, he comes across many people who will actually shape him as a person, shape his personality, shape his character. And all these experiences that he has of love, of friendship, of hope and regret will take him on a roller coaster ride throughout the world. From Turkey to Kashmir to Guwahati, Alok will travel to all these places and many more. This is the story of Alok and his preparation for the exams. Now, for a layman like me who has no idea of the kind of effort and preparation that goes into UPSC exams, I had so much to learn from this book. I gained a lot of experiences. The book definitely talks about the numerous hours of study that goes into the preparation, but on the other hand, it also talks about a lot of other things, like the deep agony of failure, the mounting pressure that the parents put, and also the fear of facing successful batchmates. So there is definitely much more to the UPSC story than what meets the eye, and if you want to know more about it, definitely check out this book. Now this book is a great read for beginners, not so for voracious or intermediate readers, but if you're a voracious reader, especially if you are somebody who's preparing for the exams, or you know somebody who's preparing for the exams, I think it gives you a detailed look into the life of such people, into the life of aspirants, and just how tough the situations that they have to face in life are. So once again guys, a huge shout out to author Piyush Rohankar. Thank you so much Piyush for bringing this video to our users and viewers. And now guys, coming to the part that you all have been eagerly waiting for. Here is the list of 4 amazing books that I'm sure you would definitely love if you are an intermediate or voracious reader. Book number 1 is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now this book is something, and it's the perfect mix of drama, of romance, and this book provides the perfect mix of a lot of genres. This book tells us the story of this Hollywood starlet, yesteryear's Hollywood starlet called Evelyn Hugo. Now Evelyn Hugo is as mysterious as she's glamorous, and she's the ultimate diva, the ultimate fashion icon, and the woman of not every man's but every person's dream. But the thing about Evelyn Hugo is that she is secretive. She has always been. And now, towards the later decades of her life, towards the end of her career, she's finally coming out with her secrets. She's finally ready to talk about her life, to talk about a scandalous life, including the 7 husbands that she has had. But for this purpose, to talk about her life and to reveal her story, she chooses Monique, an unknown reporter from an unknown magazine. Nobody knows why. Even Monique herself is flabbergasted. She has no idea why would Evelyn do that. When she can have any reporter from anywhere in the world, why would she choose Monique? But Monique also knows that this is exactly the once in a lifetime opportunity that will jumpstart her career, and she's all but ready to take it. Now, slowly and steadily, as Monique travels through Evelyn's stories and the stories about her life, she realizes that there might be some deeper connection between the two of them, between Evelyn and Monique. The only thing, she still cannot figure it out. Now, I'm gonna stop there and not tell you anything more about this book or about the story because I believe that is for you to read. But let me just tell you that it's an amazing read. It's gripping, it has these tantalizing characters, and it is entertaining like hell. Mark my words, because this is exactly the kind of Hollywood drama that you need in your life. Now, a lot of the book is glitzy and glamorous, but it's also true that a lot of it is about love and friendships. A lot of it is deeply emotional and even tragic as well. So, I'm not gonna say anything more, but the only thing that you have to go and check this book out because it's absolutely amazing. Book number two is A Woman is No Man by Ita Froome. Now, this is a book which is heartbreaking to say the least. Now, this book is a brutally honest and tragic portrayal of the life of Syrian women. It's a book that is deeply emotional and depressing. Such tragic is the life of its characters. Now, the story of this book takes us to the Palestine of the 1990, where we meet this young girl called Isra. Isra, who loves to read, who loves to dream, and who is not very keen on the suitors that her father brings to her for matches. But all of a sudden, one week, her life completely changes. Isra finds herself quickly matched and married off and sent to Brooklyn in America. Oppressed by her mother in law Farida and ignored by her husband Adam, there is just too much pressure on that kind soul. A pressure that only intensifies when, instead of giving the grandsons that Farida has been craving, Isra, one after another, delivers four girls, four daughters. Now, 18 years later, it is the year 2008, and Dia, the eldest granddaughter of Farida, is being compelled by her to see suitors and get matched and get married. Why? Because Farida thinks that is the only way in which Dia would ever do good in her life. But Dia is an American. She wants to dream. She wants to study further. But Farida would never let her. And sometimes Dia does wonder, what if her parents had never died all those years ago? Would her life would have turned out any different? What Dea doesn't know is that dirty family secrets, horrible, shocking secrets, are just lurking in the corner, waiting to be unraveled, and that will change her life forever. Dea doesn't know anything about her past. So, this, like I told you, it's very, very emotional, it's tragic, it's depressing. At the same time, it tells you a lot about Syrian women, the culture that they come from. It also tells you a lot about immigrants in America. So, it's a deeply emotional read, one that I would certainly ask you to read. Book number three on this list is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Now, this book is a very different and literary kind of twist on vampire fiction, and it's the perfect combination of Dracula and Desperate Housewives. So, it is a supernatural thriller which is set in small town America of the 1980s. So, there is this small town in the southern America in 1980s where this woman lives called Patricia. Patricia Campbell is a housewife. Her husband is a workaholic, and her children are all grown up. So basically, Patricia does have a lot of free time on her hand. Now, in this small town, there's only one thing that actually manages to keep Patricia sane, and that is her book club. A book club that she runs along with five other women. And this is a very, very different book club. Why, you ask? Because this book club is only about crime books, and that too true crime. So it is definitely different. Now, Patricia's whole world unravels when one day this guy called James Harris arrives in town. James Harris, who's dashing, who's smart. James Harris, who is her neighbor's nephew, who has these dashing, gorgeous looks, who is so charming in his manners, and who has a lot of travel stories, interesting travel stories to talk about. Now, Patricia finds herself drawn towards James, and quickly she invites him into her inner circle as well as her book club. But very soon, when dreadful things start happening on the other side of the town and children start disappearing, Patricia has a lot to worry about. And after all, the true crime that she's always loved to read about is now happening in her town, and she has to figure out why. So this is a book which is again a gorgeous mix, highly entertaining, very different plot, and I love the way it's written. I love the satire that it has, the dark comedy it has, and it's just brilliant. So go and check it out if you are a voracious reader. Finally, guys, the last book that I have for you is this one, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Now, this is a book that I actually got last year, but I only came to read it last month in June. Now, this again is a book meant for voracious readers. It is essentially a historical fiction that is set in the pre-Civil War America, where slavery was the fuel that ran the big growth engine of America. Now, before I tell you more about the story, let me read a few of my favorite quotes from the book. Stolen bodies working stolen land. It was an engine that did not stop. Its hungry boiler fed with blood. And America too is a delusion, the grandest one of all. The white race believes with all its heart that it is their right to take the land, to kill Indians, make war, enslave their brothers. This nation shouldn't exist if there's any justice in the world, for its foundations are murder, theft, and cruelty. And yet, here we are. Now, this book tells us the story of Cora, who is a slave in this cotton plantation in Georgia. Now, Cora is the daughter of a slave who was born as a slave, but she's the granddaughter of this woman who was taken from Africa, where her village was raided in the middle of the night. People burned, villages burned, and she was eventually brought to America as a slave, bound to slavery for her entire life. Now, when Cora is just a young child, her mother escapes the plantation, and that leaves Cora all angry and disappointed. She starts hating her mother because it is her mother who left her alone in this angry and cruel world. Cora has nowhere to go, she has nobody now. But Mabel, her mother, never thought about it. And maybe it is because of the same reason that Mabel managed to escape, that Cora, when approached by this guy called Caesar to try and escape from the plantation, readily agrees to do so. Now, Cora and Caesar plan to use the Underground Railroad, which is a system of railways and tunnels, secret tunnels whom nobody knows about except the people who operate it. And this Underground Railway precisely exists for helping people like Cora and Caesar to run away from slavery. Now, Cora and Caesar decide to go to North because they know that the situation in the North is much, much better. But everywhere Cora goes, everywhere she runs, she only finds hatred, brutality, and death. She finds herself always on the run, being followed by this terrific slave catcher called Ridgway, who somehow manages to find out all of her hideouts and manages to sniff her out every single time. This again, guys, is brutal, it's honest, it's actually dark and depressing as well, but I think still it is a book that you need to read, you need to check out. And did I tell you that it actually won the Pulitzer Prize for 2017, and it has also been made into a web series on Prime Videos, I guess. I have seen that series, but I was not very impressed because it was very, very slow for my taste. But nevertheless, this book is definitely worth a read. You have to check it out because it's just so good. And that's it from me in this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching it. If you enjoyed these recommendations, do let me know in the comments below. It does help small YouTubers like me when you guys comment and like my videos. So please, please, please don't forget to leave that like. And I will see you in another video super soon. And if there's some particular topic or a particular genre that you guys want me to recommend books on, do let me know in the comments again below. And that's pretty much it, guys. I will see you in another video super soon. Until then, bye.